Lisa Garr is the host of the highly rated popular radio show, The Aware Show. Based on her desire to live in a more conscious world, she created the radio show featuring best-selling authors and experts in the fields of natural health, cutting-edge science, personal growth, and spirituality. Joining us now is radio host and author Lisa Garr herself. Lisa, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So I know you've kind of been back and forth between New York and LA. You're all over the place, so I'm glad that you're here in Albuquerque talking about this.
I love it.
Yeah, so you have quite an interesting story. You had a bike accident that left you with a brain injury.
Yes.
And you've come a long way from it. So tell us a little bit about that story.
Yes, well, prior to the accident, I was a very big workaholic. And not that that's bad, being a workaholic, but I didn't have a purpose in what I was doing. And so I was also a professional mountain bike racer. I had a horrible accident during a race, a California State Championship race, damaged my brain, cracked my helmet in 13 places.
Wow.
And I had a wake-up call like you wouldn't believe. Not only could I not speak after that, and I lost a lot of my short-term and long-term memory, which wound up being fine. I just learned I had to repattern my entire life. And it wound up that I found living a life with purpose meant so much more to me than going through the motions, trying to climb the corporate ladder to get to the top and step on whoever you needed to get there.
Yeah.
That was the race that I was in, and I didn't like it.
That's great.
And somehow I
you were able to
created
get
a
out of it.
change. Yeah.
That's great. Well, and you kind of talk about it in your book, Becoming Aware. So let's talk a little bit about the book.
Yeah. Yes. So in the book, and I've discovered over 15 years of broadcasting since then, is I created a radio show, and it blossomed to how to have conscious, connected conversations, how to have a meaningful conversation here where you and I are answering and listening to each other and focused and just being here. It actually creates a coherent figure and field around us that many neuroscientists say achieves the highest order in what we're talking about right now. And that has to do with our thoughts. First thing that you can do in the morning is start off paying attention to your thoughts. Are your thoughts about the day and what you're doing and your struggles and what's not happening? Can you switch those automatically? Okay, this is going to be a great day. I'm going to take a hold of this day. I'm going to move it forward. I'm going to have a connection. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to make somebody else feel good. And that's where you can just start off with the first thoughts that you're having in the morning, because it actually creates a chemical cascade in the brain.
Okay.
First thoughts.
Because a lot of people have, and I think a lot of psychologists have talked about this as well, the idea behind a monkey brain.
Yes.
That you're bouncing around constantly.
I know it well, yes.
And so settling into that, I mean, I definitely have had that in my day. I'm sure a lot of our viewers at home have had that. So you're saying if we can start off early to really just kind of focus that in on something with positive, that it starts to change reaction.
And that's how you repattern your brain, is you change something. You do something different every single day. So if you drive to work differently, it creates a different set of neural bundles in the brain. If you actually change your thought pattern at the beginning of every day, or in a conversation, you can catch yourself and say, hey, how are you? Or if you go to get coffee in the morning, ask the person how they're doing. Something that connects you, it makes you feel better. It releases oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, all those great happy chemicals in the brain, makes you feel better, and then in your field helps the other person feel better as well. You can do it with the loved one, your child. You can do it in every single way during your day, and it makes you feel better. And you'll see how your day changes.
Yeah. Well, so in this book, you talk about what you call awareisms.
Yes.
Is that right? So tell us some of your top awareisms.
Okay, one is changing your thoughts every single day. Two is connecting with somebody. Another thing, as I mentioned, change a pattern that you do every single day. Another one that I have in there is a visualization process. This can take you 5 minutes where you visualize your outcome. And you actually go there with your eyes closed, and in the book there's a QR code you can scan your phone over and see a process where you imagine your dream realized. You see it, hear it, think it, taste it, smell it, everything, where you get all of your senses involved. It actually rebuilds neural bundles in the brain where they start to fire together and wire together. And you start to remember it. So it's remembering your future. You're taking your future, you're pulling it back into now just through imagination.
That's really interesting.
It's really powerful.
Wow. That's great. So a lot of good stuff, it sounds like, in this book. Lisa, how can we get a copy?
You can get it on Amazon.com. I'm also here doing book signings in Albuquerque. Tomorrow on Saturday, I'm at the Barnes & Noble, and I'm also in Santa Fe at the Arc Bookstore.
At the Arc Bookstore. Fantastic, guys. Well, for more information about Lisa's book, we will have links at casa.com. But I highly recommend getting out and meeting her in person. We're very fortunate to have you here in the Duke City. Get out and enjoy some of the great cuisine here.
We have already,
You're
yes.
in a good place for good food, Lisa.